Welcome everyone to the first TRENCHLESSWORKS webinar under the new initiative from Ian Clark at Nodig Media Services and myself, Paul Harwood at Westtrade Group. For those who are not aware, Westtrade have now taken the publishing responsibilities for TRENCHLESSWORKS. We've been in the industry now for almost 40 years, bringing you trenchless technology events from all over the globe. And we're just really excited now to be bringing you your media as well. That will include a redesign of the monthly digital magazine TRENCHLESSWORKS, a new website, trenchless-works.com, and also TRENCHLESSWORKS TV. All that will be happening in January 21. So please do keep a lookout for everything, and we'll be sending you details as time goes by. All feedback is welcome, constructive, good and bad, of course. And I'm now happy to be able to hand over to Phil Steele, Head of Sales at RSM Linings, who's going to be talking to you on liner choice and suitability. Over to you, Phil.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, so thank you for joining RSM for our first ever webinar that we have done. This is the first of a series of webinars, so please keep a lookout for the next event, which will be promoted through our social media channels. Today's webinar is all about the different liner options available for CIPP. Inclusive of this, we also have two new products that we are going to announce today that have been added to our range. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please send them through, and then once we get to the end of the presentation, I'll answer as many as I possibly can. So, today's presentation is all going to be about CIPP liner, choice and suitability. So just before we go into the full presentation on all the different liners, just want to tell you a little bit about RSM Lining Supplies for those who don't know us. So RSM Lining Supplies was established in 2003 and is one of the world's leading suppliers of CIPP materials, equipment and services. It's committed to offering the utmost in both technical and service support, whilst focusing on maintaining our position at the forefront of the sewer rehabilitation industry. We have a head office that is based in Doncaster in the UK. We also have an office in Australia and a number of distributors worldwide offering our services. Within this webinar today, we will aim to examine all of the liner options available through the RSM product range, discuss the strengths and limitations of each of the products, discuss the job suitability of each liner, which hopefully will mean that you have a better understanding of the different liners available for CIPP. Throughout this webinar, we will be discussing 10 different liners for you today. Two of these, as mentioned before, are brand new to our product range. Namely, these are Echo Liner and FERO Force Liner. And I'll go into detail with them as we go through the slides. So we'll start with the PVC coated dragging liner. PVC coated dragging liner has a flame bonded welding seam and is most suitable for straight runs and bends of up to 45 degrees. This product is usually used in 100mm and 150mm, however can be used in larger diameters of 225, 300, 375 or above. However, the limitations sometimes when it comes to the larger diameter is the weight of the liner becomes very difficult to pull the liner into place when it's been impregnated. So as the name suggests, this is a dragging product. So the method for installation of this product is that the liner is impregnated with your choice of resin. It's then pulled into place. Once it's pulled into place, it sits at the bottom of the pipe and a calibration hose is blown through the liner, blowing up to the size of the pipe, and then it's cured in situ with either water or air. The dragging liner, with it being a PVC coated liner, is for ambient cure or warm cure, but also can be LED UV cured. The difference if it's LED UV cured is that the calibration hose that you will use to be inserted into the liner will be a clear calibration hose so that it can transmit the light and cure the liner. RSM stock the PVC coated dragging liner in 50 metre and 100 metre rolls as standard, but it can be purchased in longer lengths upon request. So the strengths and limitations on the dragging liner. It's a simple, easy installation method, and it's a very cost-effective solution for straight runs. However, the limitations of this product are that it's only suitable for bends up to 45 degrees and should ideally only be used on straight runs. The impregnation on site of this means that you are limited to the time that you have with the ambient resin that you are using. So predominantly, this liner is only used up to 30 or 40 meters in length. Once the liner is cured, it will create a mechanical bond with the pipe that it's within. However, it won't create a chemical bond. What we mean by this is that because when it cures the liner, the resin stays inside of the felt as opposed to transferring onto the outside. So therefore you aren't getting any chemical attachment to the pipe that is already there. This is not a major issue, but it's something to take into consideration during your liner selection. The next liner we're going to talk about is the PVC coated inversion liner. PVC coated inversion liner is an introductory level inversion liner and has a heat welded seam, and it's suitable and available from 100 ml up to 300 ml. This product is most suitable for use in straight runs and bends up to 45 degrees. The method for an installation of an inversion liner, the PVC coated inversion liner, is to invert the liner, impregnate your liner, with your choice of resin. This is then loaded onto either a water tower or into an inversion drum or a sluice, and then it's inverted into the pipe using air or water. So what we're essentially doing with the liner is turning the liner inside out to form a new liner inside the pipe. Once in the pipe, the liner is held at pressure and is cured in situ. It can be cured via ambient, warm, or LED cure. It can be used for manual-to-manual installations, but also in conjunction with a calibration hose, it can complete a blind shot. A blind shot installation is when you only want to repair the first part of the drain. So when you have maybe 40 meters of pipe to repair, but you only want to repair the first 10 meters, you would invert into the 10 meters, the liner would invert and then fall to the bottom of the pipe, and then a calibration hose would be inverted through the liner, blowing it back up to size and curing it in place. This product can be supplied in 50 meter and 100 meter rolls as standard, but again can be manufactured in longer lengths upon request. So the strengths and limitations of the PVC coated inversion liner. The liner can be impregnated on site with ease, and the installation process is simple to carry out. It can be used for blind shots and is a very cost-effective product for straight runs. You can achieve a leak-tight finish using this product when in conjunction with one of our epoxy resins. The limitations of this product is that it is only accessible to be able to be used up to 45-degree bends, and the ambient cure requirements of this liner mean that the limitation of length is anywhere from 30 to 40 meters, depending on ambient temperatures. The next liner that we're going to look at is the PVC Flex Inversion Liner. Flex Inversion Liner is one of the most commonly used liners in the industry, and this is due to its flexibility and ease of install for a cost-effective price. As you can see from the photos on the right-hand side compared to the last slide, it has a stitched and heat welded seam. Now, with the stitch, this reduces the width of the seam whilst retaining strength, and this allows the liner to be more flexible than the PVC inversion liner. It's available in 50 meter and 100 meter rolls as standard again, and once again can be purchased in longer lengths if required. The inversion process is exactly the same as what we discussed in the last one for the PVC inversion liner, and the resins that can be used are at the bottom of the slide, all of the ambient resins that we supply at RSM Lining Supplies. So to look at the strengths and limitations, it can be used for blind shots and it's a cost-effective solution for bends of up to 65 degrees. The welded seam and also the stitch seam means that the welded seam can be thinner, making it easier to install. And once again, in conjunction with our epoxy resins, we can make this a leak tight finish. When we look at the limitations, it is only suitable for bends of up to 65 degrees. And once again, it's an ambient cure product, which means that due to the coating and due to it being PVC, you have a limited time to the ambient cure working time. Now, I'm talking a lot about different resins here as well. So please, we are going to do a webinar on resins in the not too distant future. So make sure you keep an eye out on our social media pages so you can get involved in the resin choice webinar. I'm now going to look at our PU inversion liner and PU XR inversion liner. These liners are available for hot cure and steam. PU inversion is used for hot water cure. PU XR is used for steam cure with epoxy. These liners are all suitable for bends of up to 45 degrees. These liners are available in job-specific lengths rather than pre-cut to 50 metre and 100 metre rolls, and at RSM we stock up to 450mm diameter at all times. Now, the diameter range of the PU and PU XR is starting at 100mm and it's all the way up to 2000mm in diameter, and the thickness range is from anywhere from as little as 3mm up to 30mm plus. So RSM offer these liners to be pre-impregnated and delivered to site for ease of installation. As you can see from the right-hand side, we have our impregnation service and impregnation wet-out table that can facilitate the impregnation of liners up to 2 meters in diameter. So the process would be that we would impregnate the liner. This would then be put into the back of a refrigerated truck and delivered to site to eliminate the fact that the contractor has to impregnate the liner on site. This can be done with our hot cure polyester, hot cure vinyl ester, and our WRC approved hot cure epoxy 9100-1. Also, in recent times, we can now impregnate UV LED vinyl ester resin on the impregnation table and deliver that to site for you as well. The process with PU and PU XR inversion is exactly the same as all the rest when it comes to inverting a liner into place. For the strength and limitations of PU and PU XR inversion liners. They're suitable for large diameter repairs and what is one of our only products that goes up to 2 meters in diameter. It can be used for blind shots and it can be delivered direct to site, ready to install, which will reduce labour, driving hours and costs on site for the contractor. In conjunction with our epoxy resins, this can create a leak tight finish. Now, the limitations on this liner is that it is only suitable for bends of up to 45 degrees and it does have quite a stiff coating. So if you were trying to use it on a 100mm liner compared to some of the other options we have available, this could be very difficult to install and it would need high pressures to do that. What we're going to look at now is the SUPERFLEX liner. So go from one of our stiffest liners to one of our most flexible liners. SUPERFLEX liner is a flexible PU coated felt liner with a welded and stitched seam with the ability to go around bends of up to 90 degrees. The SUPERFLEX liner is our only product that can facilitate a 90-degree bend that can be used with an ambient polyester resin. This product is available in diameters ranging from 75mm to 200mm in thicknesses of 2mm and 4.5mm. We offer this in 25m, 50m and 100m rolls that are in stock at all times. The installation method of a SUPERFLEX liner is as per the same as all of the other inversion liners. However, you can also drag or push a SUPERFLEX liner into place and install a calibration hose through the center of it to cure it in the pipe. So to go through the strength and limitations of the SUPERFLEX liner, it can be used for blind shots, It's a versatile installation methodology because it can be dragged or it can be inverted into the pipe. It's extremely flexible, so that allows it to go around 90-degree bends. And again, in conjunction with our epoxy resins, you can achieve a leak tight finish. Now, the limitations of the liner is that it is a more expensive premium product compared to the previous we've spoke about. So if you have a straight run, it would be advised not to use a SUPERFLEX liner because it's expired and it's going to cost you more money per meter to install the liner. So now we're going to talk about Echo Liner. Now, to everybody on this webinar today, this is a brand new product that we're very excited to bring to the market. Echo Liner is an exclusive product to RSM lining supplies. It's an extremely flexible circular knit liner with the ability to go around bends of up to 90 degrees, available in 100mm and 150mm at present. Due to its manufacturing process, it makes the product more flexible than other felt solutions available in the market. The liner is seam-free and this guarantees an optimum flexibility. It's suitable for ambient, hot cure and UV LED cure and is compatible with all of our epoxy resins, PU silicates and LED UV vinyl ester resins. The method of install is the same as any of our other inversion liners. So the strengths and limitations of the Echo Liner. It's a seamless liner, making it very easy to get round 90-degree bends and multiple 90-degree bends. It can be used for blind shots and it's extremely flexible. Once again, it is also possible to achieve a leak tight finish when in conjunction with our epoxy resins. Now, the limitations is that if you were to use this on a straight run, similar to the SUPERFLEX, it is a more expensive product, so it does need to be used on more flexible options of 90-degree bends, etc., rather than using it in straight runs. Another limitation is that it's not suitable for use with polyester resin. If you impregnate it with polyester resin, the styrene from the polyester will attack the coating and then start to delaminate the liner. So that's the felt liners. We're now going to look at some of our glass reinforced liners. The first one of the range is MagmaFlex liner. MagmaFlex liner is a highly flexible glass reinforced liner developed for use in complex pipe repairs, and it is a fully woven and seamless product. MagmaFlex, with it being glass, works in a different thickness variety and it's available in either 2 layers or 3 layers. And this is dependent on the pipe conditions. So if you have a poor pipe condition, we would suggest to use a 3-layer product rather than a 2-layer product. Now, one thing that MagmaFlex does that some of the other of the range doesn't do is it is capable of doing multiple diameter changes. So within the range, you can have a 100 to 150mm, 150mm to 225mm, and this continues up to 450mm in diameter. Again, this is available in 50 meters and 100 meter lengths as standard from our product range. The installation method of the MagmaFlex liner is that it's inverted into place, so it's the same as any of our other inversion liners that we spoke about today. It's suitable for use with all of our product range of resins apart from polyester. The strengths and limitations. It's a glass reinforced liner, therefore this increases the strength characteristics that this gives. It also, because of the use of glass, reduces the amount of resin per meter that is needed compared to a standard felt liner. So if you were looking at a 100mm liner, you would usually need for a felt liner a litre per meter. With MagmaFlex, this reduces down to about 0.3 litres a meter. So a cost saving on the amount of resin that is required. Other strengths is that it's extremely flexible to go around 90-degree bends, and it can also do diameter changes throughout a line. The limitations of this product is that it's not suitable for use with polyester resin due to the coating. You will see the same issues with MagmaFlex as you do with Echo Liner. and it is a more expensive premium product because of what it offers you in diameter change, in flexibility, and in strength. The next liner that we're going to talk about is UV glass liner. UV glass liner is suitable for straight runs and is a GRP woven product. UV liner is already impregnated before it comes to site and before it is delivered. Once it gets to site, the installation process is as follows. The liner is winched into place. Once it's pulled into place, end cans are attached to each end of the liner, and then it's inflated with a compressed air and pressed against the pipe wall. The UV and the LED light source is then pulled into place, as you can see on the right-hand side, and then a predetermined rate to cure the liner is inputted into the computer, and the light source will slowly pull back, curing the liner as it moves. Once the liner has been cured, the inner protective film then needs to be pulled out and the pipe repair is complete. UV liner is available in diameters ranging from 150 mm all the way up to 1600 mm and is available in a variety of different thicknesses. UV, with it being a glass liner, has an increased strength characteristic as opposed to traditional felt liners, and RSM offer these liners all the way up to 1600 mm in diameter, but are all on request, apart from anything under 375 mm. So, to look at our own UV liner, I introduce to you, if you haven't already heard of, RSM Speedy Liner. RSM Speedy Liner is a WRC approved product that we launched into the market in 2018. This is available in diameters ranging from 150 mm to 300 mm and is in stock in Doncaster, ready for next day delivery at all times. We offer this to be cut to length of the pipe repair that you were doing on a job specific site, and we can deliver it to site to ease the installation. This liner is suitable for UV and LED curing, making it an incredibly versatile UV liner. So to look at the strengths and limitations of UV liner in a whole, the strengths are that you get an increased strength characteristic from it compared to a felt liner. The workability of the UV liner is much longer than an ambient or hot cure. So if there are any issues on site during the day of the installation and you potentially get a delay, the liner can be stored for up to 6 months and it then can be installed at a later date. Further strengths to the UV liner is that it's a controlled cure with the use of the advanced UV technology, and the installation equipment is capable of recording the curing conditions, which can be offered to the client as a quality assurance. The limitations of the product is that it is a more expensive product because it is made out of glass. It's only suitable for straight runs, and for the non-stock items out of the RSM Speedy Liner range, you can be waiting up to 3 to 4 weeks to get the liner to site to install. The other limitation is the expensive side of the equipment. So the equipment that you need to install the liners is expensive to purchase. So the final liner that we're going to talk about today is FERO. And FERO is a brand new pressure liner that we are introducing to you today. So at RSM Lining Supplies, we now offer a structural pressure pipe repair process which is manufactured and factory impregnated in the UK and is one of a kind. FERO is a PU coated inversion liner that is glass reinforced and impregnated with a vinyl ester resin. It is suitable to withstand positive pressure of up to 12 bar, and RSM offer a full design service to aid you in installing the liner. It's manufactured in the UK, which means that the liner can be installed with a maximum of 10 days from ordering, giving a fast, cost-effective solution for pressure pipe repairs that has not been seen in the UK. The liner is available from 150 mm upwards and the liner thickness is determined from the pipe conditions, and the design service that we offer will dictate that to you. Once this is delivered to site in refrigerated transport, the liner is inverted into the pipe through traditional methods and then is hot cured with water. Once the liner is completed, liner end seals are required to be attached to the ends to complete the repair of the pipe. All at RSM, we believe that this product can revolutionise the pressure pipe rehabilitation market for years to come. Recently, we have just completed an installation of 800 metres of 600mm pressure pipe FERO liner, and that was installed in Jersey over 6 different installations and has been a great success. So we look forward to working with people with this liner moving forward. So the strengths and limitations of FERO liner. FERO can be impregnated by RSM and delivered to site ready for installation. The liner can be designed to a max application pressure of 12 bar, and as said before, it's UK manufactured, so it reduces lead times from what we have known for pressure pipe rehabilitation. It also offers a fully structural rehabilitation of a pressure pipe. The limitations of the product is that it does need to be stored in a refrigeration before installation. However, RSM offer a service that should be able to cope with that. And the other limitation of the liner is that it is made out of glass and felt. So when you look at the 100mm, 150mm, it is quite a difficult liner to invert compared to some of the other flexible liners in our product range. So that's 10 liners that we've gone through now. All I'm going to do now is just briefly quickly show you a couple of compatibility tables. These compatibility tables will be given to you at the end of this webinar, and all the slides will be sent out to you afterwards for your reference. So on the first compatibility table, we have the resin overview. So this looks at the 10 different liners we've spoke about today. It shows whether they can be dragged in or inverted, and it shows what resins they are suitable for. As I mentioned previously, we will be running a webinar on resin choice, and that will be coming in the next few months. The next slide is for liner suitability. So again, all the 10 liners that we've spoke about today and whether they are suitable for straight runs or up to 90-degree bends, and the diameters that you can purchase these products in. So that concludes the end of the webinar. Thank you for listening. I'm now going to go and look through the questions, and I'll try and answer as many of them as I possibly can for you. However, if you do have any questions afterwards, please contact the sales team via sales@rsm-web.com or telephone us on 01709 864 271. So thank you for listening, and I will just now look at some of the questions and try and get back to a few of you on them. So I'll just open this up a little bit. So the first question that I can see on here is PU and PUXR inversion liners. What is maximum design thickness you can achieve for this particular liner? So the PU and PUXR, they can be manufactured up to 30mm or even up to 40mm. There's no real reason why you can't go to any thickness. It would all depend on the condition of the pipe, the size of the pipe, and then whether you can actually invert the thickness of the liner once you get to that. So as standard, we would say 30mm. Right. So I've got another question on SUPERFLEX liner. SUPERFLEX liner is best suitable for vertical applications. What are the length limitations? So SUPERFLEX liner can be used in vertical application. This would all depend on the resin choice that you want to use. So if you are using a ambient cure resin, you could potentially only only do 20 meters, 30 meters. But if you're using a hot cure, you could potentially do 100 meters. It all depends on the working time of your resin. So to be able to answer that question, we would need to know what resin you're using, and then we can advise on the length that we would suggest is the best to do on that. Just got a question on FERO Force. FERO Force liner, is this approved for use with potable water? And the answer to that is not at present, but we've started with pressure pipes and rising mains, and then the process is to move forward with that and look into potable water after that. Just see if there's any more questions that I can answer quickly. I have got all the questions here, so once we finish the presentation, I will make sure I get back to everybody with their on their questions that have been asked. One of the questions is about Echoliner, and are you planning on seeking any approval in terms of its leak tightness? The answers to that is that yes, we will be. We have our 9100-1, which has a WRC approval. We will always look to try and increase the amount of approvals that we've got, and put in the Echoliner and a few of our other liners through the CP 308 test is very much in our plans for the new year. Okay, so I will try and get back to everybody else with the rest of the questions that are on there. I would like to thank you all for your time again. And yes, I look forward to speaking to you again on our next webinar. So make sure you check our social media pages and join up for the next webinar that comes through. So thank you very much again, and speak to you soon.